Hello and welcome to Ingly Tales, where you learn English through powerful stories. Today's story is about Nikola Tesla, a man who dreamed of lighting up the world, but died in the dark. Let's begin.
Part 1. A Child of Light. On a stormy summer night in 1856, in a small village called Smiljan in the Austrian Empire, now Croatia, a boy was born. His name was Nikola Tesla. The sky was full of lightning. The rain was heavy. The midwife who helped with the birth was afraid. "This is a bad sign," she said. "This child will have a difficult life." But Tesla's mother, Juka, smiled and said, "No, he will be a child of light." That night, no one knew how true her words would become. Nikola's father, Milutin Tesla, was a strict Orthodox priest and a writer. He wanted Nikola to become a priest too, but Nikola's heart was elsewhere. His mother, Juka, loved making tools and machines at home. She had never gone to school, but she was very clever with her hands. She could fix anything and create small inventions to make life easier. Young Nikola loved to watch her work. He helped her and learned from her. Later in life, he said, "I got my inventiveness from my mother." Nikola was not like other children. He often saw flashes of light in his eyes. He saw pictures in his mind that others could not see. He could imagine objects and inventions clearly in his head. At first, these visions scared him, but soon he learned to use them. He realized that he could solve problems and create inventions inside his mind before he even built them. He also had a great memory. He could memorize entire books, and he enjoyed solving problems others found impossible. Even as a young boy, people noticed that his mind worked in special ways. Part 2. A Mind Full of Dreams. As a child, Tesla was full of energy. He liked to read, explore, and learn. He could remember whole books after reading them only once. His mind was like a sponge. He remembered everything. He also had a very strong will. If he decided to do something, he would not stop until he finished it. Sometimes this made him difficult to deal with, but it also made him special. Tesla had an older brother named Dane. Dane was smart, kind, and talented. Everyone thought he would grow up to be someone important. Tesla looked up to him like a hero. But one day, tragedy struck. Dane died in a terrible accident. Tesla was only 7 years old. The loss shocked the whole family. His parents were heartbroken. Tesla cried for many days. He didn't understand why it happened. After Dane's death, everything changed. People noticed that young Nikola became quieter and more serious. He also started to get sick more often. Some people believed his sadness made his body weak. He had trouble sleeping and sometimes had strong dreams and strange visions. He would see bright lights or images in his mind. These visions were so strong, he sometimes could not tell what was real. His father tried to be strict, hoping it would make Tesla stronger, but his mother understood him better. She protected him and encouraged his dreams. She gave him puzzles and let him help with her home inventions. She knew he was different. As Tesla grew older, his health continued to go up and down. When he was a teenager, he became seriously ill. Doctors came to see him and thought he would not survive. He had fevers, he lost weight, and he stayed in bed for weeks. His body was weak, but his mind was still full of ideas. While lying in bed, looking out the window, Tesla made a promise to himself. If he got better, he would use his life to help others. He would give his energy to science, discovery, and improving the world. Slowly his strength returned. His body healed. His mind became even sharper. And his dream to help humanity through invention grew stronger every day. Part 3. Learning and Struggles. Tesla was very smart in school. He could do complex math problems in his head. He amazed his teachers. Some of them even thought he was cheating because he solved problems too quickly. But Tesla was simply gifted. He enjoyed learning many subjects, especially science and math. But he also liked poetry and languages. He could speak several languages, including German, French, and English. He was not just a scientist. He was also a thinker and a dreamer. He went to the Austrian Polytechnic School in Graz to study engineering. At first, he was one of the best students. He worked hard and impressed his professors. He would often study for 16 to 20 hours a day, barely sleeping. At Graz, Tesla first heard about a new invention called the electric motor. This small machine could turn electricity into movement. It amazed Tesla and made him think even more about the power of electricity. At that time, most machines used direct current, DC. But DC had many problems. It could not travel far and was not very safe. Tesla began to dream of a better kind of electricity, alternating current, AC. He believed that AC could be safer and more powerful. He even saw it in his mind, working perfectly. But the world was not ready for it yet. Even though Tesla was doing well in his studies, life was not easy. He worked too hard and slept very little. His health began to suffer. He started to skip classes. He argued with his professors. Slowly, his grades fell. In his third year, Tesla lost his scholarship. Without money to pay for school, he dropped out before finishing his degree. He was ashamed and did not tell his family at first. He simply left Graz and began traveling. For a while, Tesla lived in poverty. He moved from city to city in Europe, Maribor, Prague, Budapest. He worked small jobs, read books, and kept dreaming about inventions. These years were hard, but they helped shape his ideas. He did not stop learning. He studied libraries and continued to imagine better machines. One day in Budapest, while walking with a friend in the park, Tesla had a powerful vision. He saw a working model of the AC motor in his mind. He picked up a stick and drew it in the dirt. The idea was clear. It was a turning point in his life. Even though he had lost school and stability, he had found something even more important, a new dream that would change the world. Part 4. A New Life in America. After working in Europe for a few years, Tesla decided to go to America. He believed that America was the place where dreams came true. He wanted to show the world his ideas, and he thought the United States would give him the chance to do it. When he was 28, he said goodbye to his family and took a ship across the Atlantic Ocean. The journey was long and difficult. On the way, someone stole his ticket and money. But Tesla didn't give up. He finally arrived in New York City with just 4 cents in his pocket, a few clothes, some drawings of his inventions, and a letter of recommendation. The letter was from Charles Batchelor, Tesla's former boss in Europe. It was addressed to the famous inventor Thomas Edison. The letter said, "My dear Edison, I know 2 great men, and you are one of them. The other is this young man." He had invented the electric light bulb and built power systems using direct current, DC. When Edison read the letter, he agreed to meet Tesla and later gave him a job. Tesla started working for Edison's company right away. He was happy and full of hope. He worked very hard, sometimes 18 or 20 hours a day. Edison saw that Tesla was smart and could solve difficult problems quickly. One day, Edison promised Tesla $50,000 if he could improve his electrical generators and motors. Tesla worked day and night for months and finally succeeded. He made the machines better, faster, and more efficient. But when Tesla asked Edison for the money, Edison laughed and said, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." He felt betrayed. He had trusted Edison and worked so hard. But now he saw that Edison never really meant to pay him. After this, Tesla quit the job and left Edison's company. At first, life was very hard. Tesla had no job, no money, and no friends in America. He started digging ditches, holes in the ground, for $2 a day just to survive. But even while doing this difficult work, he kept thinking about his dreams. He believed in his ideas and never gave up. He said later, "My brain is only a receiver." In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. Tesla knew that something better was coming, and he was right. Part 5. The War of Currents. Soon, Tesla met some investors who believed in his ideas. He showed them his designs for a new kind of electric motor, one that used alternating current, AC, instead of direct current, DC. They were impressed and gave him the money to build a small lab in New York. In 1887, Tesla finally completed his AC motor. It was a big success. The motor worked smoothly and could carry electricity much farther than Edison's DC systems. Tesla showed his invention to a group of engineers and businessmen. They were amazed by what they saw. One of those businessmen was George Westinghouse, a wealthy inventor and entrepreneur. Westinghouse believed in Tesla's AC system. He thought it was the future of electricity. Westinghouse bought Tesla's patents for $60,000. He also promised Tesla a payment for every unit of electricity that used Tesla's AC system. This could have made Tesla a very rich man. Together, Tesla and Westinghouse began building AC power systems across the country. But Thomas Edison didn't like this. Edison had invested a lot of money in DC electricity, and he didn't want Tesla's AC system to replace it. He began a public campaign to make people afraid of AC power. Edison told the public that AC electricity was too dangerous. To prove his point, he paid people to kill animals using AC current in public. He even helped invent the AC electric chair, just to show how deadly it could be. This fight became known as the War of Currents. But Tesla did not give up. He worked hard to prove that AC was not only safe, but also better. He gave lectures, showed experiments, and explained why AC electricity was more useful for cities, factories, and homes. In 1893, Tesla and Westinghouse got the chance to show the world what AC could do. They were chosen to provide power for the World's Fair in Chicago, a huge international event. Edison tried to stop them, but Tesla's team won the contract. At the World's Fair, Tesla lit up thousands of electric lights using AC power. For many visitors, it was the first time they had ever seen electric lights. The crowd was amazed. The fair became a symbol of the future, and Tesla was seen as a genius. After the fair, AC electricity began to spread across America. People and businesses started using it everywhere. Even cities that had used DC started changing to AC. Tesla had won the War of Currents, not with violence, but with science, ideas, and hard work. But this victory was just one part of Tesla's journey. His biggest dreams were still ahead. Part 6. Big Dreams and Big Risks. After winning the War of Currents, Tesla became famous. People called him a genius, newspapers wrote about him, and scientists respected him. He gave speeches, showed his inventions, and amazed crowds with electric light shows. He even made electricity pass through his body without hurting himself. People saw him as a kind of magician. But Tesla did not care about money or fame. What he really cared about was his dream, to make life better for everyone. He had bigger ideas than just lighting up buildings. He believed that electricity could be sent through the air, without wires. He imagined a world where people could get free energy no matter where they lived. He dreamed of sending messages, music, and even pictures across the world using wireless power. Tesla said, "The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind." He met with a powerful banker named J.P. Morgan and asked for help. Tesla told him he was working on a new system that would send messages and power through the air. Morgan gave Tesla $150,000 to build a large tower. Tesla chose a place called Wardenclyffe on Long Island near New York City. There, he built a giant tower over 50 meters high, with a round metal dome at the top. Under the tower, he built secret underground tunnels to help send the electric energy into the earth. The tower was beautiful and strange. People nearby called it Tesla's Mystery Tower. Many did not understand what he was trying to do, but Tesla believed it would change the world. At first, J.P. Morgan thought the tower would help send wireless messages across the Atlantic Ocean. But when Tesla told him the full plan to give free energy to the whole world, Morgan became angry. He asked, "If anyone can get power for free, where do we put the meter?" They did not want people to get free electricity. They wanted to make money. Without money, Tesla could not finish the tower. He tried to find new investors, but most people thought his ideas were too big or too strange. The Wardenclyffe Tower was never used. Years later, it was taken down and sold for scrap. This was a hard time for Tesla. He had worked for years to build the tower, and now his dream was gone. But he didn't stop thinking. He still believed that the future would bring wireless power, flying machines, and new ways of using energy. Even when others stopped believing in him, Tesla never stopped dreaming. Part 7. The Lonely Genius. After the Wardenclyffe Tower project failed, Tesla's life changed again, but not for the better. He no longer had investors, big projects, or newspaper headlines. Many people who once admired him now turned away. New scientists and inventors were becoming famous, and Tesla's name slowly disappeared from the spotlight. He was still full of ideas, but now few people believed in them. Some thought his inventions were too strange. Others said his dreams were impossible. Tesla continued to live in New York City, moving from one hotel to another. He often could not pay his bills. Sometimes he gave the hotel managers small electrical devices or plans for machines as a promise to pay later. He wore old clothes and walked alone through the streets. He ate very little and spent much of his time reading, writing, and thinking. He became more private and quiet. Even though he had few friends, he still had a deep love for animals, especially pigeons. Every day he went to the park and fed them. He said they brought him peace. He even took care of injured pigeons, bringing them back to his room to help them heal. There was one white pigeon he loved more than any other. She visited him often, flying to his window. Tesla said, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman. When she died, something inside me died too." But Tesla never stopped thinking. In his mind, he was still solving problems, inventing machines, and imagining a better world. He told reporters that he had created a powerful new weapon, a death ray, that could stop wars by destroying enemy planes before they reached the sky. He said it would make war impossible. But no one ever saw this invention. Some people laughed at him. Others were afraid. Governments listened, but none took him seriously. Despite this, Tesla continued to work on his ideas, in his own way, at his own pace. He didn't care about money. He only cared about truth, science, and helping the world. He once said, "The future will show whether my ideas were right. The present belongs to others, but the future, I have always believed, belongs to me." Part 8. The Final Days. In the last years of his life, Tesla lived alone in a small hotel room in New York City. He He stayed at the New Yorker Hotel in room 3327 on the 33rd floor. His room was quiet and simple, filled with papers, drawings, and a few small inventions. He had no wife, no children, and very few visitors. He mostly kept to himself. Hotel workers said he was polite, but he did not talk much. Some days, he would come down to feed the pigeons in the park. Other days, he would stay in his room for hours, thinking and writing. Tesla was now very thin and weak. He wore old, neat clothes and never gave up his dignity. He believed that he still had important work to do, even though the world had forgotten him. He sometimes gave interviews to newspapers. In them, he spoke about new inventions, machines that could send power through the earth, ways to clean the air, or technology that could stop all wars. Most people thought his ideas were strange. Some said he was dreaming too much. But Tesla never stopped believing in a better future. Money was always a problem. He had no income and could not pay his hotel bills. But the hotel manager liked Tesla and let him stay for free in his final years. Every year on his birthday, Tesla would invite a few reporters to speak with him. He used those interviews to talk about science, life, and his dreams for humanity. On one birthday, he told the reporters he had spoken with light, with animals, and even with people on other planets. Some thought he had lost his mind. Others listened carefully, wondering if he still knew something the world didn't understand yet. On one cold day, when he was 86 years old, Tesla did not leave his room. The hotel staff became worried. They knocked, but there was no answer. On January 7th, they opened the door and found him lying peacefully in his bed. He had passed away during the night. Tesla died alone, with no money and no family by his side. At the time of his death, most of the world had forgotten about him. But the world would soon remember. Part 9. He changed the world. After Tesla's death, his name was not well known. Newspapers printed short articles, but most people didn't understand how much he had given to the world. His papers and notes were taken by the U.S. government and locked away. Some people believed they contained secret inventions, like the death ray or wireless energy. Others believed they were just dreams that never came true. For many years, people forgot about Tesla. But slowly, everything began to change. Scientists and historians started reading his old notes and learning about his work. They saw how important his inventions were. They realized that many of the things we use today were first imagined by Tesla long before anyone else. His idea of alternating current, AC, became the main system used all around the world. Thanks to AC power, we have electricity in our homes, factories, schools, and hospitals, safely and at great distances. His work also helped build the base for radio, remote control, radar, and even wireless communication, ideas that led to things like Wi-Fi, mobile phones, and GPS. Some people even say that without Tesla, the modern world would not exist. Today, scientists call Tesla one of the greatest minds of all time. His name is now used in science, engineering, and even space. The unit of magnetic field strength is called a Tesla in his honor. A company that makes electric cars is also named Tesla because its founder was inspired by Nikola Tesla's dream of clean, powerful energy. More and more people now see Tesla not just as an inventor, but as a visionary, someone who could see the future before it arrived. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about fame. What mattered to him was helping people and creating a better world through science. He once said, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries." It lives on in every electric current, every radio signal, every wireless message that crosses the world. It lives on in every mind that dares to ask questions, imagine the impossible, and build something new. Nikola Tesla showed us that even in the face of failure, loss, and loneliness, one person's dream can still light up the world.